Hey everybody, welcome to Wood Chat for June 11th, 2014. I'm Matt Gradwell from Uppercut Woodworks, live in the shop at Uppercut Woodworks. You can find me on Twitter at UppercutWood or on the web at uppercutwoodworks.com. And yes, I'm live in the shop tonight. The Wi-Fi's working, the camera's working. And with me as always is Chris, coming from across the border. Say hey.
Hey, it's Chris Wong coming to you from north of Seattle in British Columbia, a little province called British Columbia. You can follow me.
Mute myself. From Uppercut Woodworks. Live in the shop at Uppercut Woodworks. Sorry about that.
Instant replay there. Okay.
I always like to make sure that the video is working, but I thought I had muted that.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
You can follow me on Twitter at FlairWoodworks and follow my blog and check out my work at flairwoodworks.com. And hey, Scott, everybody knows who you are now.
Yeah, I'm world famous because I did a Reddit AMA now. Yeah. That means I'm a celebrity, right?
Mm-hmm. Like Lindsay Lohan and...
Right. Now I just need the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're good to go.
Paint 10 accounts, right?
Like all those girls that Tiger Woods cheated on his wife with, you're a celebrity.
just like all of those. Wait, what do you say? Nice.
So tell us about what are we gonna do first? Design game?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do design game first.
All right.
Let's get the good stuff that people actually want to hear about.
Yeah. Okay. So if you made a design based off last week's SR71 picture, Chris, have people been sending them in?
I have not seen any sent in to me yet, but this is the design we were looking at anyhow. That Joe brought to us. I've got a design. Matt, I know you have a design, and Scott, I think you were working on one earlier too, right?
Yeah, I just got to upload it here.
Okay. If you have a design, you can share it with us on Twitter using hashtag woodchat, or you can email it to me, chris@flairwoodworks.com, and we will share your design. And we'd like to hear a little bit about it too, so if you can tell us a bit about what inspired it and any other details you'd like to share with us, please include that, and we will articulate that to the best of our abilities. Matt, you want to go first?
Sure. So really quick, Christopher Bowen said he had a tough time with this week's picture. I know Scott and I chatted about 45 minutes ago, and we both had a tough time with this week's picture. So
I did too.
You did too?
Yep.
Okay.
Way to go, Joseph. You stumped us all, man.
Yeah.
No. I refuse to be stumped. I think I did a good job. I like what I did.
You pulled it out in the end.
I did.
All right, so here I'll put my picture up and screen share it.
So, in case you're wondering, Joe did come up with the design as well. He shared that on Twitter. I'll screen share that in a bit. Look at Matt's first, though.
All right, here we go. Can you see it?
Oh, that's a big picture.
Yeah. Oh, is it really like zoomy crazy pants?
It is, yeah. I'm looking at Twitter Inc. in the very corner. There you go. Okay.
Okay.
So, Matt has the Rocket Ship Entertainment Center.
Yeah, so I figured you'd go to a surplus store, you'd buy yourself a real, authentic, full-size SR71.
Sure, that's got
You build your house around it. You set it up vertically against the wall, the top facing you. You would turn the jet engines into speakers. You have your left and your right. And then you'd have spots for Blu-ray players and stuff down there on the bottom. And then where the cockpit is, you would put in a big TV so you can watch Sports Center.
All right.
that was honestly my, I don't know. Let me see. How many other pictures did I draw that were different here? Where did I put them?
Okay, Matt, you have to build one of these.
So I'm going to stop screen sharing here and show you the other. Turn off screen share. So the other ones I had here, that was my fourth picture. A couch where the rollers were jet engines.
Cool.
And I tried to make the rest of it inspired by the SR-71. And this here was a, this is a jet, and this is the nose cone. It's a lamp.
Okay.
And then this was supposed to be a sofa table that you can kind of bring up next to your sofa. But they all suck.
Just turn the jets on and move it across to your sofa there?
Yeah. You have a lamp, a table, a couch in your entertainment center.
Well, yeah, that was a tough one. Good for you, Matt, for getting one together that's kind of remotely possible. Although that's not a criteria of ours to have something plausible able to be made.
Right.
If you want Matt to build one, I want you to go on Twitter and go tell him that.
Yeah, we'll do a Kickstarter for you guys to buy the SR-71.
Surplus. What is it? That should run us, what, just a few $10 million-ish or something?
Yeah, and a crazy security clearance.
And they'll take all the special stuff out of it. I have seen a lot of houses built out of decommissioned, like, 747s.
Yeah.
Commercial airliners, or sections of the fuselage, usually the wings removed. They're all laying in their normal state. None of them are standing up, and none of them are stealth airplanes either. But I don't know. Maybe nobody wants them because there's no room in them. Who knows?
I'd rather have one that actually flew.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
They need a landing strip and a runway to take off to use it with.
Probably.
And if it fully worked, Matt, where would the TV go? With the speakers?
Inside.
Okay. Easy solution.
So people are starting to tweet other designs now, which is good.
Yeah. Joe and Scott have got one. I've got one as well. Let's look at Joe's next. How about that?
Sure. You want me to screen share it?
Sure.
Try and do it in a way that doesn't freak out screen share again.
So Joe has designed a men's valet based on the SR-71. He was actually the one who came up with the picture. He brought the picture to us as inspiration.
Here we go.
He's done a pencil sketch here. So he's scooped out the middle to serve as a dish for rings, I guess, or watches, or coins, that kind of stuff. And he's got 4 drawers, 2 on each side. And drawer pulls towards the center of that. Got some dimensions here, 18 inches by 11 overall, 11 high as well. And he's continued the curve of the dish down the front of the valet.
Kind of cool.
It's like the front of the plane, the nose cone has been reset or scooped out of the valet.
Yeah, I'm going back and forth between the two pictures, trying to see how he did that.
The sides are curved too, right?
Yep.
Not a flat surface on it.
So here's the picture of the SR-71. And there's Joe's valet. So this center part here kind of mirrors. I guess you take it a few ways. It could be the fuselage or the engine that's he's taking the shape from, or the shape of the cockpit itself.
Yeah.
Cool. If you have any questions about any of the designs you see here tonight, you can let us know on Twitter. Just use the hashtag Woodchat. We'll read out your questions and try to answer them as best we can. Any thoughts on this design, guys?
It's better than mine.
More realistic to build than mine.
Yeah. Probably should cost less than a couple $1 million in materials, Matt, you think?
Mm-hmm. So, Scott, you were mentioning you were having a challenge with this one. What do you think it was? Because some of the other ones were so easy. The curve, some of the previous pictures were a lot easier. Why was this one so dang hard?
I don't know. Just I think it's such a foreign. It's so far removed from what we do. There's nothing really nature-inspired about its design necessarily, except actually, if you look at the top of an SR-71, so I was looking at other pictures, it is kind of interesting how wing-like the wings are, like animalistic wings. But there's not really any flat surfaces to use for something on the plane to kind of pull an idea off of for a table or something. I don't know. It was I had an idea when he first shared it, and then I should have written it down. Because I couldn't remember for the life of me the last 2 days. So.
As I look at the design now, the picture, I'm seeing more ideas. Let me screen share. I'll show you what I'm kind of thinking here. I don't have my whiteboard with me today. Otherwise, I'd do a nice little sketch for you.
So many people had a tough time with this.
Yeah, I'm seeing you got a fin here, and then a fin here. If you cut it off here, then you end up with a kind of a tripod base, and then you get one from this side too. So you can make a table base with those two parts, and cut a flat on the bottom of the engine, and have kind of a Y frame with a big mass at the bottom with a flat so it doesn't roll. I kind of like the idea. I'm going to have to draw that one.
So would it be vertical again?
These two tips would be horizontal.
Yeah,
it seems like
I was trying to.
I
was trying to design a bench with like 3 scooped out seats, which is kind of where, when we get to my design a little bit, where it transitioned into a chair. But I guess it's a side profile. It still could be a bench. Okay. But using those 3, the 2 engines and then the fuselage as kind of the mindset, basically flipping the entire picture upside down. I wasn't happy with any of the leg ideas I was coming up with. So, it just didn't feel like there was a lot to draw from on that for me for some reason.
Yeah, you could also. Yeah, I kind of found myself going to concepts. You could also just look at the space and the amount of air around it, try and come up with a lightweight or an aerodynamic or a space age design. This
is a picture I found because I started looking at other pictures of SR-71s just to see if something else would, another view of it would inspire something. I was really drawn to the air coming off the wings to the sides of the engines here. Something about that curve of that air coming off of there, the airstream, coming off of those curves of the engine. That started to grab something, but it was too late. It was only about half an hour ago or 45 minutes ago that I saw that I couldn't play with that as much as I wanted to. But
That's clever. So you're taking a picture of what we're looking at and getting a different view of it.
Yeah. Yeah, just to see if anything else would break loose, I guess. The thing is, it's such a iconic plane. It's such a unique thing that it seems like it should have been easy. But.
Yeah, I tried stuff like, don't worry about the plane. Just think of SR-71 or helmets or parachutes. And so then what I decided on couch was, SR-71s go fast.
Yeah.
What's the slowest thing a man can be in? Well, it's couch. So trying to go to the couch, right? And then I kind of was off in the weeds. So.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, I was designing a chip and dip dish, kind of based off of the main fuselage, where it would have a flat ring, ring for the chips, and then that bulb part of the fuselage was a dish for the dip.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't happy with even how something as silly and mindless as that was.
So when I first did it vertical,
wow,
I thought of salt and pepper shakers.
yeah.
Like a little caddy you'd carry with you to a picnic.
Cool.
I was looking at a wall clock design, kind of using that main shape of the fuselage again, but it was looking
Christopher Bowen said the same thing. He said the profile of the cockpit kind of looked like a mantle clock to me, but I thought it too lame.
Yeah. The drawings that I was coming up with were too how do I say this? Feminine.
Okay.
I just I don't know. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Never mind.
Let me be
Not
really
that feminine
careful.
is bad. Just
You mean physically feminine?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I understand. I understand.
Freud would have something to say about the drawing. Let's put that. Oh, did I just freeze?
No. I have another idea here too. Let's see if I can share this. I'll see if I can convey it here. I've taken the picture. I was looking at it really closely, and I turned it upside down to help show you here. Forget about the wings. Just look at the fuselage. What I see when my eyes kind of go like out of focus, like you do for those puzzles, I see the length of a table here, like an ovalish table, with a round base flowing out of it. So the base flows out of the tabletop and then goes to the table edges there. So kind of a round formed.
I played with that idea a little bit. I think I probably moved away from it too soon, but I was having trouble figuring out how to make that. I think I was thinking too much about practicality of it.
Mm-hmm.
I should have just drawn it, because I was thinking, oh, it's going to be tippy. It's going to be like this, like one of those. Those bouncy balls with the flat seat around it that you'd sit on.
Yeah, you need enough weight at the bottom.
Yeah.
I kind of like my idea of having the engines and the wings here as the upright for the table, and have the engine as the mass at the bottom, and just have a fairly lightweight tabletop so you can't rock it over. And those would have to be probably a couple hundred pounds each or more. Seems like a cool idea.
Actually grabbing an SR-71 engine as the base of your table.
Yeah, I'll take them because Matt's gonna dump his in favor of speakers.
Yeah, I'll have a couple extras after I build my entertainment center.
Yeah. Perfect.
I'm sure you can get those cheap, right?
The engines? Yeah.
It's out of commission now, so it should be easy going.
Just snip a wire or two and it won't work, and then there you go.
We think it's out of commission.
It could be over your house right now.
Yeah. I shouldn't have said anything bad about the NSA the other day.
Scott, do you want to share yours next, or do you want me to share mine?
Yeah, I guess since
You've talked about yours a bit, right?
A little bit. So, yeah, I just didn't have enough time to really go through it enough, I guess. So I'm not really happy with where it ended up. I'm trying to get up the screen share here. Come on. There we go. Computer's lagging.
So you have to kind of show us how you got here, because I can't quite see the lines in it right now.
what stinks, I thought I was saving each step of my my drawings, and then I went back and I realized I was just saving over the drawing each time.
No.
Oh.
And erasing. I don't have a lot. Yeah, so this is the side profile of a chair. Obviously, the SR71 is very sleek and, you know, very sleek lines. So that was kind of, you know, very broadly the inspiration of that. But if I can find, I don't think I've got it. Let me see.
I'm curious what you drew in the ground here. Were you bored? Is that you?
It was just to define the ground.
Okay.
So, yeah, I erased the two transitions that got from the front view of a bench. That's what it was. I was doing that bench where I had kind of 3 scooped out seats.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I was designing a bench so that, again, flipping the picture over, but basically I had the 3 scooped out seats and then a back that rose up, you know, kind of flowed out of the seat and up, you know, just like 3 little humps, and the hump in the middle is a little bit taller. And so while I was drawing that on a front profile, I kind of saw this profile of this chair sideways in that front profile of what I was drawing as well. And then also, because I was trying to figure out how to do the legs of the bench, the legs of this chair were what I was envisioning for the bench. And so I started to do the side view of the bench, and it just came into the chair thing. So
Sounds like you've fallen quite the path to get there.
yeah, it was a little bit insane.
Are you drawing it, Scott?
What's that?
Are you drawing it right now on that whiteboard?
No. No, I was just trying to look for the other designs. But I can
thought you had a
show
whiteboard in front of you that you were drawing it on.
No, just my phone. Here's kind of the clock idea.
Oh yeah. Cool.
But I was even going to have maybe like a little barometer and a
Yeah.
you know, another little dial on the other side, but I just wasn't real thrilled with.
It looks almost like something I've seen before.
You know, Scott, I was going to try and draw a hand plane, an SR71 hand plane.
What?
Well, that could be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
For rounds?
No idea.
Here's kind of the playing with a couple different designs. The bottom ones are the serving tray with a flattened dish in the center.
Yes.
It might be kind of neat. I wasn't feeling it. So.
I understand your previous comment.
You see where I'm coming from there?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think part of how I ended up with my design stemmed from a post I wrote earlier this week. It was called "What Defines Form," and basically what I decided was that form is the form of a table, as my example says here, is just a solution that someone came up with to meet the needs of a table, which is to support something at a convenient height. So the aprons give the legs stability, the legs give the table height, and the tabletop gives you a place to put whatever you want to put on there. Down in the comments, somebody challenged me. Brian said, "Does form have to follow function? What about a table with other top?" And at first I kind of just brushed that off. A table with a top, right? Is that really a table? It's just a piece of art, right? But then I kind of got thinking. I was looking at the SR71 and trying to come up with an idea of what I could do to get to to create a design based on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about not so much the shape of it, like you guys were. You guys looking at the actual shape of it. I was thinking about what it does and what it is and what it creates and all things associated with a plane like that. What I came up with was the idea of turbulence. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a good understanding of turbulence, so maybe my design is the design is based on my understanding of turbulence. So this is it here. So this is kind of what I would envision the airwaves to be as a plane rips past. You got kind of like that vibration effect, the vibrating waves, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a table. It's 30 inches high and 24 by 30, and I also kind of inspired by that comment by Brian to not have a top, and can it be done? So you've got some support here, and then you have less support farther on, obviously. I can show you my 3D model too, if you like. That's over here. That was kind of a cool idea, and it's one that I'm actually excited to make. I like to make a table like this. Where is it? Here it is. This is the CAD program I use here. It's called Rhinoceros 3D, and I just drew it up in pieces. So as I envision it, I've got a whole bunch of 3/4 inch thick pieces here that run up, and then I've got angled parts that meet them at the ends and join them as they continue on at different angles, and they all sit at compound angles, angled out to the side, and then also leaning over at the same time.
And so that'd be used as a table, but you wouldn't put a top on it.
Yeah.
But you could still set books, and you could still set plenty of things on there.
Yep. If they were closer, you could put plates on there. Books you could definitely put on there. It's kind of like a clutter-free table, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
It's a limited clutter table. If you have any thoughts or questions on my table or any other...
I'm still digesting it.
Yeah. You can comment on Twitter.
I mean, it's definitely buildable.
Oh yeah, it's super easily buildable.
How big are those gaps? They look like about 4 inches, maybe tops.
These spans here?
In the big.
Yeah, these are 3/4 inch. I can throw a dimension there if you want.
I'm trying to find a picture. There's a building up in on the north side of Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's a construction company, but the architectural design of the building has these big concrete panels, and the idea was that it looks like these concrete panels are falling off of the building. So like come along the building and they're all like, you know, the first 3 or 4 are you know, flat on the building like they're supposed to be, and then the next one's kind of leaning back a little bit, and then you know, one's like just the top is poking out of the ground, and so where the panels supposedly fell off is all windows. It's kind of interesting looking building. I just can't remember what the name of the construction company is to find the picture of the building.
So, Matt, to answer your question, the biggest gap is 14 3/4 inches.
Yeah, so we have an ottoman we use as a coffee table, and we set a tray on it. That will definitely hold a tray, or books laid flat, or a plate. So that's doable. It would really suck to set down a cup of coffee though, and
well, you could also do that too. You have to be careful where you put it down.
Or set it on a tray.
Yep. It's kind of like I used to have this picnic table on the deck, and I'm sure it was a really nice picnic table at one time, but over time the boards moved, they cupped and they curved, and then they pulled out. So every 2x4 that made at the top was a different layer, a different level. So if you set your cup on the edge of a 2x4, on half on one, half on the other, it's sitting at a 15-degree angle. So you have to be careful where you set that as well.
Yeah.
There's lots of opportunity to put a cup here. If I model a cylinder, how big is a cup diameter? 3 inches?
Sure.
There's your cup.
Yeah, that would work.
Whoa, that looks kind of... Yeah, just be careful where you place it. It'll sit fine. If you bump it, it's gonna... It might slide, but it'll slide off too.
Yeah. So, one of the things that was interesting to me about the picture was the color. A lot of these stealth aircraft have special paint. What color would you make your table?
What color would I make my table?
Mm-hmm.
That's a really interesting question. As you asked it, I start to think about how it would be to finish inside all these crevices here. I guess it'd be a good candidate for pre-finishing, or I don't know. Could you spray this successfully?
On the inside, maybe not.
Yeah, I was thinking kind of like a rusted metal finish might look cool.
Oh yeah.
A high polish finish. Joe said making this out of glass would be really cool. Invisible topless table.
Oh, that would be very cool if you use like that thick. I guess it's polycarbonate or plastic or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
whatever cockpit's made out of. Try and get that thick sheet of that.
Well, yeah, you don't need to get the exact stuff, but you can get
you don't have to actually get bulletproof stealth aircraft cockpit material, but you could use 3/4 inch thick clear plastic.
Lexan or
Lexan, that was the name.
Yeah, or plexiglass.
That would be pretty cool. Scott, what about you? We never talked about what material you'd make your chair out of.
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't get that.
And what color would you go?
The legs would have to be a bent lamb. Yeah, probably probably the bendy plywood or something, kind of like the. I envision the seats kind of like an Eames chair, where they're kind of curved and scooped, but they could also be just shaped. Glue up some solid wood pieces and then shape them.
There's a couple comments on Twitter.
Go ahead.
There's a couple comments on Twitter, Scott, about your chair. Robert says he likes your chair. And Andrew wants to know, why did the chair's armrest and legs appear to be a great white dorsal fin?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I did my reply go through? I might have forgot to put Woodchat on it. Okay. I replied to him that I may have been influenced subconsciously by the story that was all over this week about the great white shark that was eaten by a bigger great white shark.
Yeah.
Oh.
So maybe subconsciously that was part of it.
I saw this table a while ago, which maybe I was reminded of it as I created my design. It's a stack of giant blocks that are perpetually falling over, supporting a nice glass top there.
I like that because you got the balance of those of those pieces. Then you got this big piece of glass on top. So you're like, oh crap, those are falling over. That glass is gonna break.
It's a perpetual fear that
it's like a gigantic domino.
Yeah. It's all that potential energy in there.
It would be cool on a finish to try and make it look like the piece was in, I don't know, the heat of the jet.
Okay.
It looked like it kind of got burned a little bit.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what kind of finish I'd put on there. You can make it out of solid wood, just go clear. Or else you could open yourself up to all kinds of effects. Maybe paint the insides black and have the outsides white.
Mm-hmm.
But then the outsides become the insides. You could do one side white, one side black.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm still looking at it right now. Garth suggested making oversized coasters, which I think is a pretty funny idea. You have a coaster, hand them like a frisbee.
You want to set down a drink, you get a coaster that's as big as a dinner plate.
Yeah.
It'll span 3 of the ribs on that thing.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
If a tad ridiculous.
Well, everything about these this week was ridiculous for me. For the picture.
Yeah. So I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad, huh?
Mm-hmm. I think I like my lamp more though.
Yeah.
Although right there it looks like a dunce hat on a bucket. So Scott, Reddit.
Yeah.
Tell us about Reddit, man.
Yeah. So earlier today at 4 o'clock, I was on Reddit to do an AMA, an Ask Me Anything interview, I guess. People can just ask any questions about whatever they wanted to, and I could answer them or not. But yeah, mainly it was just to introduce and talk about our Woodchat design challenge that we're going to do there. Same picture inspiration that we're doing every week here, but this is going to be a little bit more in depth, where the contestants are actually going to build the pieces they design. And we talked about it a little bit last week, so we're announcing that, and then yeah, just people were just able to ask about planes and anything else that they wanted to ask about. So
how many participants?
Right now there are, let's see there are 39 comments. So it wasn't
cool.
It wasn't a major movie star AMA where they get like 5,000 comments, but I'd never expected anything like that. It's woodworking, so it was fun. There's more people than I thought were going to ask questions. So
yeah. Did you tell them to come to Woodchat?
I did. If anyone is paying attention to Woodchat after the AMA, feel free to say something on Twitter. Let us know. But I will share the link to read everything through.
You get some interesting questions? Like, what were some example interesting questions?
Let's see. Someone asked how many copies of my DVD I've sold. Not an interesting question, but let's see. Someone asked about the future of woodworking in schools and getting younger people interested in where I see the craft heading, and I think that's something we talked about planning on here, and then in other instances where I tend to have a much sunnier outlook on that than what it seems like. At least if you're viewing most woodworking forums, they tend to be pretty negative about that aspect. But I think we're doing really good. I think all you have to do is look at all the maker movement and the organic food movement and all this stuff where people are trying to get more in touch with the things they buy. Yeah. Know where it came from. Know what went into it. I think that bodes very well for woodworking. So I'm excited to see what happens in the next few years. So that was a good little thread back and forth. Neil Kronk came in to pay a visit and asked about the Ron Hawk nose hair trimmers. He also asked what my very first plane looked like, so I got to share the
cool
the post from that I did. Shannon Rogers got on there and asked about other planes that I might want to make someday, including airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a good time. Oh, someone asked what's your Everest build? The one thing you would like to be able to do someday, but have not yet gotten the time, energy, wood, opportunity to build. Which I thought was a really good question. So my main answer to that was just to be able to furnish my own house with my own stuff, because I literally have one piece of my furniture upstairs, and that's it. Which that just kills me, having junk up there. But so that was a good question.
My wife tried to buy an entertainment center for our bonus room from Walmart, SEUDER, and that did not go over well. So now that'll be one of the first projects out of the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really? I'm a woodworker, and you're going to go buy pressboard furniture?
See, those are the days that I wish I was just a hobbyist, where it didn't matter what I did in the shop. I could do whatever I wanted to do in the shop.
Yep.
And I could do those things. I mean, I could make a new entertainment center. I've wanted to make myself an entertainment center for years. It just until I do, it's sitting on a piece of particle board piece of junk that I bought in my early 20s. So
yeah,
which it still lasts this long, so I guess that's something. But actually, it looks like there's a couple other questions I got to get on there and answer. But it was a good time.
Cool.
Next week, Shannon Rogers is going to be doing an AMA. So
really,
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Did people ask about the business aspect, like how to set up your own business, how to be successful at shows?
No, I didn't get that one, thankfully.
It was mostly about building. Yeah,
questions about planes and actually the last question was posted about an hour ago, which I need to get on our answers. I've noticed a beautiful fairing, I hope that's the right term, on the sides of your planes and even on your leg vise. Goddamn sexiest leg vise I've ever seen. I think so too. How do you achieve that using a spoke shave? How do you get the faired surfaces to be so perfectly smooth and flat? They're so perfect in their smoothness and symmetry that they almost seem machined. I'd love to be able to emulate that someday. Yeah, that's all. Rasps, and I rough it out on a bandsaw, fair it with rasps, and then spoke shave and scraper, card scraper. Use that a lot on those as well. So. Yeah. I don't think they're that hard.
Yeah, well, you've done it so many times.
Yeah, that does have something to do with it, I'm sure. So.
This week I was detailing planes for Time Warp Toolworks, and on the side of the plane next to the mouth, there's a blind side bevel which allows clearance for using the plane at a different angle. So you get full use of the profile without any hindrance of the body, and that ends up being, I can't remember what the exact angle is, but I can basically drop my plane down and just plane down right to that line and I know the exact way to hold the plane. I can actually do that better than I can
What plane is this?
On any of the molding planes, they've got a bevel on the side next to the mouths. Traditional ones have them as well, but I think it's a 1 to 2 angle, 1 to 2 ratio angle. And I can just sit my plane down and cut that angle without thinking, without checking my.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't tracking with it, but no, I got you. Yeah, just from so much use of it, you just you got the muscle memory built up. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, that's how I feel on my smoothers. Is especially shaping them, it's just second nature at this point. because the smoother is by far the most popular plane I sell, and so I can shape a smoother in my sleep. It feels like.
Yeah.
And it's eerie. Like when I was doing the Highland planes, when I had 12 of them at a time lined up on the bench, all smoothers, and if you looked at them, I got a picture of them, and every single one of them looks exactly the same.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of freaked myself out that I could do that all by hand and make each one look so similar.
Yeah.
If you took it down to tight measurements, you could find differences, but just glancing at it, it all comes down to just doing it all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure.
Thankfully, I didn't get any questions of do you like O1 steel or A2 steel?
I saw you had a question about bevel up, bevel down, low angle.
Yeah. Yeah. Just do you like my answer though?
Yeah. It's a good answer.
I think,
that
especially with the part of
angle on it or something, and your block planes are at 37.
Yeah. But like even someone had a plane on there, and if this person is watching, I'm sorry. I don't mean to single you out, but I need to send him a private message to and just let him know. But he made this plane. He put some awesome engineering into it, and if that's your thing, go for it. That's cool to engineer unique ways to deal with stuff. But it's like Lee Valley sells these kits now to do an adjustment on wooden planes. So you can have a lever adjustment and a depth adjustment. And I just don't see the point. I've gotten to the point where I'm so I like the simplicity of just using a hammer that I don't even like grabbing a metal body plane because I have a little dial to turn. And it just drives me nuts. That seems so much more complicated than it needs to be when I can just hit it with a hammer. So
That's Scott's answer to everything, by the way.
Hit it with a hammer? It works.
I use it at work a lot.
Yeah. You can't hit ones and zeros with a hammer, though.
No, but I can hit people who make ones and zeros.
I'm guessing engineers and techie guys really react well to the hammer threat.
They don't want the big mean man coming in with a hammer.
Adam Maxwell asked, wait, does Reverend Ron have nose hair trimmers for real? No, but we were discussing that he really should make scissors. I would buy some Ron Hawk scissors in a heartbeat.
Could he make scissors better than anybody else, do you think? Or why would you buy his?
I would just buy some Ron Hawk scissors because I like Ron Hawk.
All right.
I'd buy his
really good steel. They wouldn't.
I would buy his kitchen knives. I would buy his pizza cutter. I would buy his wine opener. I would be broke at the end of that, but they would all last forever.
Yeah. I think Joseph Leviolette asked if he could make scissors that would be able to cut sandpaper without dulling.
Interesting. Well, what's the abrasive in sandpaper? And if you had a harder material, would it work? If it was super hard?
I don't know. My thought is you just have to, anytime you're going to cut up sandpaper with scissors, you just need to work through the grits and sharpen them back up.
Nice.
Smart ass.
We've got a really cool picture for next week's picture inspiration. Have you guys seen this?
Let's see it. Put it up.
I love it. Okay. Where is it here? Shared by. I've already got it on my website. I'm that good. Shared by Andrew Arntz. Check it out.
Oh, the steaks?
Yeah, he's got a couple steaks on a nice white plate. Yeah, I can't wait to see the designs with this.
I think that one's going to be a struggle to
Think so?
That one might be more esoteric. Maybe I'll design a table to attach to my grill. Instead of something based on the actual steak.
You guys know who Craig Nutt is, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Yep.
He's the guy who makes the vegetable furniture.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're all airbrushed to look like real vegetables.
Are they airbrushed? I'm not sure. I'm not. Yeah, they're painted, but
Yeah.
here, the pictures coming up for everybody who doesn't know who Craig Nutt is. He does this kind of stuff. A radish table with a salad bowl on top, and then a lid for the other half of the radish.
Mm-hmm.
Asparagus. Where's his gallery? Works. Portfolio, furniture gallery. I don't know. CraigNutt.com, nut with 2 T's. Have a look. He incorporates all kinds of different vegetables into his furniture. It's really unique, really cool. And it kind of reminds me of this steak picture. So maybe we'll see a chair with a seat made out of a steak, or
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be fun though.
Yeah.
As always.
I like meat.
Mm-hmm.
Meat inspires me.
Mm-hmm. So you can find that picture on my website, flowwoodworks.com, and go up to the top. Right in the menu, there's a link for the picture inspiration game, and down at the bottom of the page you'll find that picture in case you need to look at it more. Did you find the building there, Scott?
I did. This is apparently
cool.
It's something else, some other company now entirely, but so yeah, these are you got the two panels that look like they're still on the building, and then they start falling away over here.
Wow, that's really cool.
It's very hard to miss when you're driving by it on the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever panic when you drive by it? It's gonna hit me.
Well, when it was first constructed, when they first put those panels up, I actually did think, 'cause all those windows were not in it yet when they were still building it, and I think, if I recall correctly, because this was back in 2007, 2008 when it was first opened, I think we had a storm right around then, and so when I drove by it after that storm, I thought, oh no, they had something nasty happen over there.
Yeah.
But that's kind of wild.
Yeah. That would be an interesting one for sure.
I still wouldn't want to be under one of those panels.
Yep.
All right, fellas, it's 8 o'clock. What's next?
I think that I'm out of topics.
So are we doing the steak then for the
Yes, we are.
All right.
Chris has already got on the website.
Yep. I am just waiting for you to upload the video for this, Matt, and then we will be onwards.
Right on.
The three of us, I guess we can just talk about this when we're off live. So, never mind.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, did I ever
Shall we?
I didn't share the AMA.
Okay.
I will share that on the Woodchat tweet stream. But cool. Good time, guys.
You want to rip it up or wrap it up, Chris?
Rip it up, wrap it up. Okay.
Rip it up, wrap it up, pack it up, pack it in.
Rap-tastic.
All right. So this has been Woodchat for June 11th, 2014. My name is Chris Wong, coming to you from Port Moody, BC, and you can catch up with everything I'm up to on flywoodworks.com, and also catch up with the picture inspiration game there, all the past designs and the current inspiration. Have a look and dig your teeth into it.
And submit an entry for next week.
Yes, please do.
Based on the plate full of steak.
Yep.
Scott, is the AMA still going on?
I'm still answering questions here and there, but it's technically officially over. But if people still ask questions, I'll answer them.
Well, so people can head over there then if they want, right?
Sure, why not?
Well, head over there, folks. So as Chris said, that's Woodchat. We'll see you next week. We do this every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. But it never really stops. It's always going on over on Twitter. Just sign in with your Twitter account. Use the hashtag Woodchat. You know, even though some of those past picture inspiration design games are over, they're not really over. You can go back and look at Chris's website at flairwoodworks.com and take a look at the old pictures and draw some sketches and share them next week. We don't mind. It's not like we closed out a week and you can't submit a design. So that is it for Wednesday, June 11th, folks. We will see you next week.
Good night.
All right.